Beautiful souls. Today we're going to talk all about that expressive part of you. Welcome to the throat chakra. Hey beautiful souls, welcome. It's always a blessing to connect with you. If you're new to this channel, welcome to the tribe. I'm Dani and I help people awaken the healer within them. Beautiful souls, today we're going to dive into that throat chakra. That's right, we have crossed the bridge, we have dealt with the lower part of ourselves, and we're moving into our higher soul today. Now, for those of you all that are new to this video that have not previously watched heart chakra, sacral chakra, solar plexus chakra, root chakra, what your energetic body looks like, there's lots of information to go and look at. So check that out first, then come back here. This information is kind of like building blocks, so you need to get the foundation first. All right, beautiful souls, so today, like I said, we're moving up into our higher self. So this is the throat chakra. This is the first chakra after the bridge, the center of our soul that is the heart center here. And so when we speak of these chakras for the next 3 days, what we're talking about are like deep, deep feelings within ourselves. Now, we have some physical aspects to this too, but our higher self, our higher soul, is closer to that connection of source. It's closer to the connection of the cosmos. It's a closer connection to your soul. So things tend to get a little deeper here. Now, what's also interesting is they are going to resonate with some of these lower aspects of us. As above, so below, as within, so without. So when we see issues here, we've got some pinpoints that we can go and work out down in the physical as well. All right, so what is the throat chakra? Well, just by the name, you probably already understand that it has to do with some type of expression or voicing ourselves, and it does. Now this is expression to ourselves, so like, whether or not, in denial, are we living in la la land? Are we in situations or denying ourselves things that we really want? Whether or not that's a relationship, whether or not that's you just want to be in compassion and love, whether or not that's you want to end a relationship with somebody, or whether or not you want to express your art. This is where we talk to ourselves internally, but also how we communicate verbally with the world. So we do a lot of communication, vibrationally and energetically, but this is where our voice comes from. So when we talk about the throat chakra, we are talking about your inner truth. And this throat chakra helps that heart speak. So this is the things that, sit deep down inside of you and you say, I really just want to do this. I feel like I need to say this. Whether or not that's to yourself, such as coming out of denial and saying, you know what, this is no longer serving me, or you know what, I'm holding myself back here. But also how we connect to others. And it's important to have this throat chakra balanced, because if it's not balanced, then we are able to express to others what we truly feel, what we truly think, what our truth is. Everybody has their own individual truth, and then there's the truth, which none of us really know. It's all perspective. But then also being, faithful to yourself and real with yourself, and allowing you to say what you want to say, to acknowledge that truth within you. So what does it look like when we have a balanced throat chakra? Well, when we have a balanced throat chakra, we're doing this expression. We're able to communicate to others. We're not fearful that what we say may offend somebody. It doesn't mean that we have to be rude with our words. Maybe sometimes this qualifies for us to be stern with our words, but it doesn't mean that we have to be rude or hurtful. Because remember, when we're living out of the heart chakra, everything is with love and compassion. So if you are having issues and maybe you feel like being mean to somebody, to get a point across, there are ways to get the point across without being rude. But the point of this chakra is that we actually express it. Now think back about how many times maybe in your life you've wanted to say something or wanted to do something, or you've wanted to sing, or you've wanted to express yourself and you haven't for whatever reason. Maybe it's because you've been fearful of how they react. Maybe it's because you've been fearful of society and so on. But when we don't express that, what we're really doing is denying ourselves the ability to speak our truth. Now, how many times have you found yourself in denial in the past? I know that I have, especially in relationships. We get into relationships, we think we want to be with this person forever, or family dynamics. Well, they're my brothers, so let's hang on to them. And, I'm going to tiptoe around them, despite the fact that, you don't want to do that. That's not how you feel. Well, then, we're snuffing out the way that we have to express our truth. So when we are balanced, we're not doing that. We're expressing our truth in kindness and love and compassion. When we're expressing our truth as well, we tend to pick up like a rhythm about ourselves. Look at me. You can tell which videos I'm super excited about, and you can tell the days that I'm struggling and the days that I'm not, because I'm really energetic. So when we're expressing ourselves, we're able to connect to the music of the world. So we have this rhythm about us. We're able to communicate well. We're able to go through situations that present and handle them with grace and move through it, and feel that we actually got off our chest what we needed to get off. Now, since our speaking is part of our expression self, you're also going to find yourself really creating. And maybe that's creating verbally, if you're some type of musician or songwriter, but maybe that's you're able to put your words into actions. You're able to send those words down into the heart space, take the action through the solar plexus, let that creative energy create itself in the sacral chakra, and then send it to our roots, and here it is. So that's why, you find people that say they're going to do something, they say it because that's what they feel that they want to do, and then you actually see them doing it. We're in balance here. Now let's look at what it's going to look like if we have an underactive throat chakra. And I bounce between these all the time. These chakras are a balancing act, and I've told you that I've had trouble within the solar plexus and within the heart space. Well, this is one that I kind of bounce back in between. And I like my blues, so, maybe I'm overactive sometimes in this. But when we're underactive, we are afraid to speak our truth. We are afraid to express our feelings. And sometimes we have difficulty, putting our feelings into words. So this is going to be, when you're afraid to say something because, or that somebody's going to get mad at you over it, or you're afraid you're going to offend somebody, or that you don't feel that your voice matters, that your opinion matters. So we're going to be really shy and quiet and kind of sit in the back. We kind of just agree with everything that everyone's saying because we don't really want to throw our own opinion out there. Now let's look at what it's going to look like when we're overactive. When we're overactive, we talk a lot. We don't do much listening at all. And we need to learn to do a lot of listening. And maybe we talk a big game. We talk ourselves up. Maybe we find ourselves, being demanding and not really resonating with everybody else's opinions. We're not able to just express ourselves and be okay with another person's perspective. Our opinion has to be correct. Now, when we have an overactive overactive throat chakra, we're also the people that tend to gossip. We talk a lot about other people. and we're into what everybody else is doing. So I grew up in a small town, I'm back here living in a small town, and this tends to be the case. The town's called Bluefield, and I giggle because, small southern town, we do a lot of gossiping. We always want to know everybody's business, and everybody does know everybody's business. And when you have an overactive throat chakra, you tend to be an interrupter as well. So, you're just worried about getting your expression out there despite others. So we tend to interrupt conversations. So what type of physical symptoms will we see if there is some type of blockage? Maybe it's underactive or overactive in our throat chakra. Well, let's look at our throat here, and let's think about what lies within our throat. So first off, you're gonna have swallowing problems. Maybe there's complications here with eating as well, since this is part of our digestive tract. And then we also have the thyroid. The thyroid sits under here. Now, this is also our lymphatic system down our neck, so we can have some immunity deficiency here as well. Maybe you're getting ill all the time, maybe you've got sore throat, enlarged lymph nodes, all that jazz. And then let's also think of, have you all ever been stressed? I'm a tooth grinder, so have you all ever been stressed and you just kind of want to say something, you're biting your tongue, so you're grinding your teeth, you're tightening your jaws. So if you have some clenched jaws here, that can be a physical sign that you have an unbalanced throat chakra. Now, as always, these are, physical symptoms, so go to your doctor and get them checked out. I'm not saying that they don't exist for an actual medical issue. All I'm saying is that if we do have some type of energetic blockage, it can present in these physical manifestations. Now, what do we do if we have an underactive throat chakra? Well, beautiful souls, I'm going to tell you, we need the foundation to start working on those roots, start working on that sacral, start working on the solar plexus, start working on the heart. Our energetic system, these chakras are like a tree, starting with the roots, working its way up, and we kind of branch out here. And then this is where we bloom, we get really fruitful. So we need the foundation, because if the foundation of the tree or foundation of the house is not stable, the rest of it isn't going to be. If we don't feel good about ourselves, if we don't feel good about our tribe, if we don't feel good about relationships, if we haven't given ourselves the empowerment there, then ultimately we can't express ourselves. We don't have that empowerment, that momentum behind us in order to do that. Now, also color therapy, so you can wear some blue. Throat chakra is associated with blue. So pop some blue on if you're underactive. If you're overactive, notice what colors you're wearing. Do you wear a lot of blue in your wardrobe? I'm all the upper chakras. Okay, those are my dominants. I'm a green person, I'm blue, and I'm purple. So I tend to live in this higher aspect of myself, but I didn't have the roots, and I've had to work on that. So if you are overactive and you do find yourself, being the talker all the time and not listening, interrupting communication, expressing yourself too much, gossiping, things like that, then you can wear some of the lower soul colors, okay? I'm going to suggest a color for you pertaining to a chakra to counteract this. Now, throat chakra has a lot to do with self-expression, with creating. Think of us singing. Think of how we speak. Our words are literally like poems and spells that we cast into the world. That's how we manifest things. That's how we get our thought forms, or by words. So I want you to maybe consider doing some orange here, because this is, the sacral chakra is our creative center. Now, if we're not able to express ourselves and create, these two can go back and forth, and we can have a little balancing act between the two. So check out some orange there. Now, if you're underactive, I want you to, play around with expressing yourself verbally. So maybe you can do that writing, writing words, get some journals. When you're sitting in a crowd of people and you feel really cautious and really nervous and you don't feel like your opinion matters and the subject comes up that you know something about, maybe not even a lot, maybe a little bit, work on giving your opinion. Work on standing up for yourself. Work on saying what you want to say, what you feel that your truth is. Just work on that with compassion. Now, if you're overactive and you're doing too much talking and you're interrupting and you're gossiping, take notice of that. And when you're out with somebody or when you're out with people, when these people that you associate with are going to be used to you, speaking in this manner, communicating in this way, pull back a little bit. Become really aware of what you're talking about and who you're talking about, and do not engage in it. Do not engage. Or, you can flip the script when people are talking, gossip about somebody, then maybe you could say something really positive, because gossip tends to be in a negative aspect. Practice listening. When you're around people, sit and listen. Let other parties, speak and really absorb what they're saying before you give your input in. Don't be in such a hurry to ignite or rush your input in there. Give your perspective. Sit and listen to others. Now, I suggest music therapy for both of these aspects. When we're underactive, if we can get into music and learn to sing in the car, sing in the shower, then that's allowing us to actually express from the vocal cords, from this throat chakra. Now, on the other aspect, when we're underactive, singing also helps because singing requires us to listen to the words. A lot of us, we listen to music, we listen to the beat, we might know the chorus, something like that, but do we really understand the message behind the song? And all songs have a message. Some of them might be greater than others. So I want you to practice actually listening to a song. When you find a song that resonates with you, put it on repeat. Don't just be bopping around, kind of in your headspace, not being aware of the words, but really practice listening to the words. Beautiful souls, this is a very important aspect of ourselves because when we are not able to express ourselves verbally, we feel very small. When we feel small, that does not help our self-esteem. It does not help us get things done. It does not help us create. And sometimes this can leave us living in a false reality. In denial with ourselves. When we're expressing too much, we tend to be in the ego aspect of ourselves. We're not in that heart center. So again, we're not really having that love and compassion for others. We're kind of taking on too much. And it's a very gentle balancing act between the two. We want you to have a voice. You were made to have a voice. You were made to have an opinion. But you weren't the only person made to have an opinion, if that makes sense. Beautiful souls, let me know what you think about this in the comments. Give me some feedback. Do you struggle with your throat chakra? Any physical symptoms there? Do you have issues voicing your opinion? The truth to yourself, what you want to do, what's inside your heart? Do you have trouble standing up to others or communicating with others? This affects our relationships greatly, as well. We can't have good dynamics with ourselves or with relationships if we have issues in this. Yet another sign of how this chakra, communicates with our sacral chakra. So if you're wondering about that, go back and refresh yourself. Dig into it again. Beautiful souls, I appreciate your subscribes. You all are doing amazing. Thank you so much for subscribing to me. One, that lets me know that you want to come back and learn some more on these topics. Two, this is going to help heal what ails you expand and allow this information to get out there to other people that need to heal what ails them like the rest of us, and awaken the healer within them. So thank you so much for that. Remember, you are never alone. I'm here with you, okay? I'm here with you. And until next time, there's nothing but love and light. Nothing but love and light.